Thank you for giving me this opportunity to do this interview. My name is Ivo Francis. I'm a chemistry and mathematics teacher, teaching in a public school, a public secondary school in Kenya. Now, first question, tell us about yourself, what you like to do in your free time, what are some of your hobbies? Thank you. I have an outgoing personality, interested in being part of the change in the society. I'm always interested in helping others, particularly students, to become whom they want to be in society and accomplish their desires. My hobbies are traveling, listening to music, watching movies, playing and watching soccer, and other related sporting activities, and lastly, making friends. Second question, do you use technology in your classroom? If so, please explain how you use it and do you find it useful? Thank you. Now, I always use technology in my classrooms, and particularly I do make use of the projector. This is where I download content from the YouTube and I convert it into the MP4 readable and watchable format. I download content such as formula derivations in mathematics. I download content such as the industrial processes in chemistry, like the Haber process, the contact process, the Austral process, the Solvay process, where I make it available for students to watch and listen to while in class. Now, how do I find this technology useful? Now, this technology is normally useful to me in several aspects. One, it normally breaks down the monotony of using the normal methods of teaching, like the lecture method. So it breaks down the monotony of students relying on ancient methods of teaching, like the lecture method. Secondly, technology is always useful to me because it captures the students' attention. When I use technology, I've realized that the students' attentions are captured when they are listening to the videos and also watching the videos themselves physically. Then lastly, I normally find technology useful to me in the sense that sometimes when I'm away from class, because of unavoidable circumstances, I can leave the video to be watched by the students so that they're engaged all the time. Thank you. Third question, if you were to walk into your class, what would we see? Now, if you walk into my class, you are going to see a lot of things. One, you are going to see an interactive class. Secondly, you are going to see me answering students' questions. So when students ask me questions, I answer them. You are also going to see me asking students questions. You are going to find me marking students' work. The work I've given them, you are going to see me marking them. You are also going to see students availing work for marking. The work I've given them, they'll be availing for marking. You are going to meet students making corrections for where they were wrong. You are going to meet students discussing work in groups amongst themselves. You are going to see students, some of the students showing others in front of the blackboard. You are going to see students making summary notes. You are going to see students, taking assignments that they are supposed to do in their free time. And lastly, you are going to see me managing the class by reminding those students who are not attentive and ensuring that the class has conducive learning environment. Question number 4, describe your students' behavior expectation and describe your management strategies and techniques you use to maintain an effective classroom environment. Now, I expect to meet a variety of students. The first students I expect to meet is the cooperative student. These are students whom, when you give work, they do it in time, and they always avail their work in time for marking. Such kind of students, I always ensure I mark their work in time. I give them extra work. I ask them to be group leaders. I ask them to go, and show others concepts that the others do not understand. So I normally make use of these cooperative students so that they feel that whatever they are doing is right. The other a kind of behavior I expect to meet in my class, I normally expect to meet in my class is the inquisitive group. These are students who want to know more, especially they want even to know more than their level of learning. They want to know concepts in life and how applicable they are. Such kind of students, they normally ask a lot of questions, even beyond their cognitive level. With such kind of students, I normally manage them in this way. I always give them extra work to go and research. I group them amongst their peers and ask them to find out how things work in society. So I give them time to come up with new ideas. I also answer their questions inquisitively and very well to ensure that they understand how things work and why they work. The other group of students I'm likely to meet that they are emotionally unstable. These are the group that normally just have outbursts from nowhere. Such kind of group, the best way to manage them is first of all to involve the guiding and counseling group in the school, the guiding and counseling group teacher. They have to talk to the students to understand why they're doing so. I also involve their parents to understand, why the students are behaving as so. I also involve the school management. And lastly, I also talk to them personally as a teacher and try to understand why they are doing so and how they can correct, because they are people who can always change. Then lastly, the low self-esteem. I've just given 4, so I'm giving the 4th one. But there are several characters I am expecting to meet. For the 4th group, I'm saying I'm likely to meet those who have low self-esteem. It's as if they are giving up in life. Also, with this group, I'll still refer them to guiding and counseling group. Talk to their parents, talk to them, giving them a sense of hope, telling them they can become whom they want to be, because it's just a matter of them believing in themselves. Question 5. If you were to ask your principal about your greatest strength and where you should grow, what would he or she say? Now, my principal will say the following strength about me. 1, he will say I'm a cooperative teacher who works under minimal supervision. I'm results-oriented, shares well with others. I have empathy for others. I'm always happy, and I am courageous and a very creative teacher. My principal, I expect him to say that I should grow in a way of stop multitasking. This is why I do several things at a go. So I should try and minimize multitasking. I should also stop self-criticism. I always have self-criticism. Then I have I have some impatience to some issues, but not all issues. Then question 6. What do you feel is the most effective way to communicate with your parents? Describe how you have used these techniques before. Now, the most effective way to communicate to parents, I believe, are 2 major ways. 1 is the parents' meeting, where we oftenly have parents meeting in the school so that we discuss issues affecting their daughters and sons, both academic and social issues, and find ways in which we can make their daughters and sons grow. So we call parents in school and have a face-to-face interaction with them to ensure that whatever the students are doing in school is for their good, and they are also doing well to ensure that they excel. Another way in which I normally have this interaction is through the school diaries. This is where a student is supposed to have his or her own diary, where we do notes daily about the assignment of the students and the student behavior. The parent is expected to go through the notes and maybe sign and comment something about the student. And if we realize the behavior is persisting, then I go ahead and ask the parent to come to school so that we have a face-to-face interaction. Then lastly, have you ever worked in the United States before? I've never worked in the United States before. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to do this video, and I appreciate for everything. May God bless you.